So hello, I'm Ryan King and I'm here with Group 2. We're going to go over a quick demonstration on the Rainbird Cirrus software. So we're going to set up all the sprinkler heads on the golf course, and it's going to be set through here so we have central control. So starting at the top left, you can see there is the live time. It's currently 11:40 and 32 seconds a.m. So one thing about the program is a new day will change every day at 12 noon, which is because you don't want that day to change throughout your nightly cycles. And then so as we continue to scroll right, you see that'll be the system status. So right now we're all good. There's no alarms or anything. And when you see that little yellow exclamation point, there may be some sort of information that you might want to look at before you get going with the program. Okay, so first thing we're going to look at there is the system settings, as you can see. And so Justin just opened it up there, and we're going to be running a decoder system for the golf course that we are at, and so we make sure that that one is checked off for that. So we'll press OK, and then we know we're running a decoder system at the golf course. Okay, so the next part of this, we're going to look at the area definition tables, as you can see there, and Justin's going to explain a bit more about that.
So yeah, from the same table, there's going to be some icons up top, and there's going to be one under area definition tables. Once you're on this page, this is where you can put your area handles, and they'll all be labeled by a letter. So G will be under greens, T will be under tees, F fairways, and so forth. Another area that you can put implement to is driving range. You could also put clubhouse, lawn, stuff like that, but for this project we're going to stick with golf, the major golf areas. And you'll also see on the left side there's a column, and these are the areas numbers that you put onto your radio for just controlling the certain area handles.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to go through is our default data settings from the same screen, and Eddie's going to talk a bit about that.
So the first thing you want to do once you get into this page is set your default run times. We've set all ours to 10 minutes because it's an easy number to work with, but obviously you guys can set yours to whatever you need them at. And then from there you can see right beside it we've got our cycle soak times. If you're working with any clay-based areas, like probably greens, you will let a cycle go for, if your cycle is 10 minutes long, you might let 6 minutes of that cycle run, and then you'll let it sit for 5 or 10 minutes, and then you'll run the rest of that cycle.
So then after that, we're going to go through some of the default rotor data, which is where we can put in which specific kinds of head we're using and how they're paired. So as you can see there, we got Rainbird 700s on greens, and then the Eagle 900s as we go down. And we're also able to select what nozzle each particular head uses and whether they might be paired or not paired as a default setting. And you can still change that in the future, but it just makes things easier as you're setting each specific sprinkler head up on your course. And so the next icon we're going to go through is the operational settings. Cole's going to explain a bit more about that one.
So here you can run your 24-hour clock if you're one of those guys, but also you have your control shutdown parameters, which is 1 minute. So if you hit your panic button, it takes 1 minute for the pump to slow down, so you don't have water hammer as well. It's your setup so you don't just shove all the water right through right now.
All right, then the next thing we're going to go through is a station detail, which is where we'll start actually setting up the hole. So you can see there that we've already got the first and second holes set up, and that shows everything that we've done so far. And then so we haven't done it yet for the fourth hole, and then we're going to go through on how we actually got those all set. Okay, so you can see here we're on our fourth hole. We've already done the first three, and Dylan's going to explain how we're going to set up the first bit.
Okay, you're going to click on the greens, and we have 5 stations on our greens, so we're going to click the add station button 5 times. Okay, so this is our decoder address. Every decoder has a 5-digit number on it, and no 2 numbers are the same on a golf course. Okay, this is our decoder type. For our greens, we are going to have the FD601 decoder. There's a drop down of other decoders that you will have over the course.
All right, so we got our greens set up for the fourth hole, and Eddie's gonna go through setting up the tees for the next part.
So to set up the tees, we're gonna stick on the fourth hole here, and you're just gonna click the tees, and we have 4 stations. So we're gonna add our 4 stations, and it's 2 heads per station. So as you can see over here, we have 2 rotors, and then over here, we have to change the number of solenoids. So we can do that all the way down. And over here, you can see we have our gallons per minute is at 63.8. If you were to change this to just a single head, you can see that the gallons per minute changes as well. So we'll put that back to 2. And then from there, we are running the correct decoder type, the FD102, so we don't have to change that. Yeah.
All right, so we got the tees set up now for the fourth hole, and Cole's gonna go through a bit on the setting up the fairway.
So here we have our fairways up here in the top, same like the tees and greens, so you're gonna go in there. And we have 8 stations, so we're gonna add up 8 heads here. So with all of them, they are paired together, so we gotta change our solenoids to 2. Except for on the 8th one, because it is a single head. So it stays as a single rotor, and I will go off to the side and also take out 1 rotor. Also, we have the Eagle 900 series, so our gallons per minute is different versus everybody else with the tees and greens.
Okay.
So after you finish fairways, you can do the same process with your perimeters, surrounds, approaches, and your rough as well. And once you have all this data implemented into this one hole, if you go all the way over to all areas, it will show everything that you have put into this hole. And you can also repeat this process with 18 of your holes as well.